To win from corner moves, there are 4 corners. You can play any corner. They are symmetrical, so it will work the same way. Now, when you play corner move at first, then you have 7 squares where you will win if your opponent plays in these squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 squares are all traps. If your opponent plays in any of these squares now, you will lose. It will be decided that you will lose. Now, if you place here, or here, or here, in any of these edges, you just play center. Then he will be forced to block here, and then you do not go in this square but here, and it's a win for you. You will have to block, but he cannot block both ways, so you will win. It's the same. You just play the center. When he plays a middle, you will have to block with a corner move, and you will just go to the other corner. And now this time you do not go here because you have to block. You block, then you will have to block. Now you don't go here because you already have a mate. All these edge squares work the same way. You can practice and you can prove it yourself. And now let's see what the corners do. Well, if your opponent plays a corner, you just go to the opposite corner and you will find the two-way path soon. It's a forced play, so it will happen. If he plays here, you just go to the opposite corner. He has to block. Now you find the two-way path. He blocks, you take. This corner, you don't have the opposite corner, but one of these corners will do. He blocks, now you have the two-way path. So playing the first move at any of these corners will lead you to win very easily, except there is just one square where your opponent is safe. This one. This will lead to a draw if he plays this correctly. If he does not place this correctly, it will still lead to your win. For example, if you play here and he makes a mistake and place here, then you will still find that two-way path. This move actually have two traps, this corner and this corner. Both are traps. So when you play again in this corner, you still retain that two corners as a trap, but these are not traps anymore. This will lead to a draw. This opens up one trap, and that is this place. If he plays here, then it's over. This place will open this trap. Now if you play here and he plays here, then he's finished. In this situation, these three squares lead to traps, but the rest of the squares do not lead to traps that you can utilize against your opponent. For example, these two edge squares, these two are symmetric, so they will work the same way. They do not lead to any traps. If you play here, then your opponent will have to block, and then you are threatened, so you will have to block. Your opponent has to block, you have to block. Then it leads to a draw. Now if you play in this corner, this also does not give you any opportunities to make traps for your opponent. The game is not forced anymore, but there isn't actually any opportunity for you to utilize anymore. You can't make any traps for your opponent. So playing this corner does not really work for you. So in this position, these three are the best squares for you to play. This will open up two traps, this will open up one trap, and this will open up another trap. So when someone plays a corner move at first, you play center. Now, simple rule, when he plays this corner move, you do not go any of these corners, but stick with the middle positions. When you play center to defend, you must stick with these squares. If you stick with these squares, then there is no way you will lose. So you defend with center, it does not matter where he plays, you just stick with your center position. You play in the middle, but obviously you have to block here. So when you are forced to play something, you have to play. And don't worry, because it will lead to a draw. So defending against this corner move is actually quite simple. You just stick with middle positions. Even in this move, where these two are actually traps, thus all the edge squares are actually safer. Now you have to block. When you have to block, you have to block. Now we have seen that playing a corner at first, you can open up 7 traps and leave your opponent with just one square. But if he plays this square well, he can easily make it a draw, and any other square will definitely lead to a win.